Hey, don't
talk
cut out,
about-
don't cut out.
Huh?
Don't cut
Car,
out.
why you scared of Lee Hsien Loong, right? Welcome to the Audrey and Seth show, AXS, where we talk about all kinds of nonsense and hope we don't get cancelled. Hi Audrey, how are you
Exactly.
doing?
I'm good. I want to eat durian.
I want to make more money, like everyone in Singapore. That's our national pastime, right?
Make money.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about today, ma.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. So why are we doing this show?
Because we bo liao.
So for those who don't know us, I run a finance YouTube and website, and Audrey also runs a finance TikTok. Yeah.
And
then
then we
damn
got
bo liao.
connected.
Yeah, we feel damn bo liao, so we decided to start our own talk show.
Because we usually talk on Telegram, and we're like, hey, why don't we just like talk on Zoom lah?
Yeah.
Then we record.
Every time talk about credit card also sian lah, huh? 18%
I mean, how much credit card can you talk about, right?
4 miles, actually a lot lah, but then also sian lah. So you want to talk about other things like election and possibly get cancelled.
And you sometimes right, will think like, wow, am I just always going to talk about credit card for the rest of my life? Do you sometimes think like, my God, I need to stop talking about money?
No. No. Okay, I mean, why? What's wrong with that?
No, sometimes I will get very sian when I keep talking about the same things, right? Then I'll be like, oh my God, I need some variety in my life. So then I will like eat food.
I wouldn't sian lah, but I would want to talk about other things now. Because actually I started my website to talk about all kinds of things, like politics lah, my life lah. But of course people not interested in my life lah, so they read the finance stuff. So it became a finance website.
So you actually evolved from like trying to talk about everything, then it became finance.
Yeah, my website was supposed to be a personal blog. That's why it's called Sethisfy.com. It's meant to be a personal thing. If I'd known that it was going to be a finance thing, I would have called it, I don't know, finance101.com or something like that lah, you know.
But then it turned out well, because I mean, when you look at personal finance, it also leads you to have a satisfying life, right?
Yeah, I guess it's like Seth Louis lor, right?
Yeah.
Sethlouis.com is his name, but then it's food. So it works lah. I mean, it works.
You're also Seth Louis, what? You are Seth, then the behind
Seth,
you is the Louis.
Google. Oh my God, that's a good one. Oh my God, I should go and register.
Thank you.
Seth-Louis.com. Idea.
You're welcome. You heard it here first, guys.
So how about your TikTok channel? Why do you do your TikTok channel?
Actually, I started right as my when I first registered the name, right, it's actually Speak Crypto lah. And then I was gonna do about crypto. Then after that, crypto like no. And then I realized that, okay lah, let's not ruin lives. So then because my life was so wrecked, right? I was like, you know what? Let's just go Speak Life lah. That was like the handle first. And then I was just going to put credit cards because I wanted to share with my friends about the credit cards that I was using and how to use them. So that was my goal. My goal was to help my friends. Then after that, in the end, become like blow up lah. Then I was like, okay, maybe we should angle this a bit more. So then it become because I also like to try different things. So then I thought, let's just go with ijusttrylah, where I try different things and tell people what's the best way, most way for happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation.
So it's the same for this podcast we are doing. We just try lah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, then we hope we quite big. Get more use of Ishaks. I'm caressing his head. So do you read actually I made a video on it lah, but do you know what's the median income of Singaporeans?
4,000 plus, right?
4,000 plus. 4,000 plus is an old figure. I think in 2023 we hit like 5K already. Median income in Singapore. Yeah.
Okay, there are many different reports though. When I looked for the median income, right, like many different articles put different numbers. I don't know if you realize.
Which articles have you read?
I think I read a Money Smart one or SingSaver one maybe. And I read another one.
Okay, well, let's go and search for it right now. Median income Singapore. As you can see, we are super prepared for this. Super prepared for our first episode. Median income Singaporeans.
You see, timedoctor.com. First one. 8,450 SGD is the median income. Please lah, last warning ah.
We have to get it from a state-approved source. So CNA says that, okay, median monthly household income. Okay, household income, I think, depends on how big your household is, right? Where is the individual one?
So it's just this average salary. Are we looking for what?
Median
income, right? Median income. Wait, by Smart Wealth.
No, we must go through very official sources.
Legit source.
Yeah.
How about salary.sg?
That's also not legit. No, okay. MOM has this report, right? MOM has this report called the Labor Force Report. Yeah, so it's direct from, I would say, the horse's mouth, lah, right? MOM can trust, unless you are super anti-government kind, lah. Right? Okay, wait, where is it?
Okay, I see 2022, right? $5,070.
Yeah, that's the figure. $5,070. Is that before or after CPF?
Including CPF contribution.
Including.
See, employers.
So they add employers and right. So if they add employers also, it means that you divide by 1.17, right? 1.17 means that the gross monthly salary is 4,333. That is your gross lah. Then of course there's still take home. Take home would be 3.46 lah, almost 3.5K. So if your take home is 3.5K, right? You add in your own contribution, you add in your employer's contribution, you will reach 5,070 lah, and that's the median. You know what's median?
Means 中间
的
center. You go from the side, and then you boom.
Yes, very good. That's Sec 3 topic, by the way. Sec 3 mathematics topic, median.
Welcome to the tuition show with Sam.
Yeah, so median, what's the advantage of using median over average?
Wow. Very good question. Bell curve.
Bell curve. In what sense?
Last time. Actually, I also don't know. Honestly, I also don't know. I guess they cut out the outliers. And
yes, exactly right. Yeah. Center. Correct. So like if you have a few people earning like billions of dollars every year, right? That will skew the average up. In fact, I think if you see the average income, quite high. Our average income is higher than median, meaning there's a lot of rich people skewing the average upwards, right? But median removes all the rich people, but of course removes the poorest as well. So you get
average.
Median. So median would be more meaningful, I think more meaningful representation on how we are doing. Because average will skew upwards if your country very rich. And of course, your country very poor, it will skew downwards. So Singaporeans, or rather, in Singapore, we got a lot of rich people. So the average pulls up.
Not me.
Actually, the really rich people, they also got no income. Think about it.
Oh, they have assets.
Right? Yeah, they have assets. So like a lot of like income tax don't even hit them. Right? In Singapore, aside from income tax, you have consumption tax. We don't have estate duty. Yeah. So actually rich people who sit at home and they don't make any money from like a job, they don't get income tax.
No company tax?
Company tax. Yeah, if they own companies, right? But if their wealth is in stocks, shares, property, this kind of thing, property, you're taxed on rental income. But capital, there's no capital gains tax. So if I have like $100 million all in the stock market, right? I get dividends, all right? Then the shares grow in price. No, nothing. It's not taxable.
Yeah. Unless you invest in US stocks, then there is obviously those dividend tax. I mean, there's those withholding tax and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, suddenly talk about tax.
Yeah.
Let's throw my coke. Yeah, I wonder if I put this, I can still upload or not on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Should be can.
Can.
The first episode kena some kind of like
flag.
take down already.
Kena flag.
So what do you think? Do you think Singaporeans earn a lot?
Oh, most definitely.
Mm.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
I think across the years you can see a lot of our friends can afford a lot better houses.
Better houses. But I thought housing is a very big issue in Singapore. Right?
It's true.
But do you think Singaporeans are happy?
Ooh. I just had this conversation today with
Yeah.
my big boss. He
Mm.
says that not everybody wants to be happy.
Oh. Why leh?
Oh, because we were talking about how well, there's someone that we know, a contact that is whose goal is to help people be happy. And so the assumption is that everybody wants to be happy, but actually and then everybody needs to happiness is a success factor, something like that. And so my boss just said, but not everybody wants to be happy. Then I was like, oh, interesting thought.
Why leh? Did you elaborate? Like, is it, some people just choose to complain about everything? Oh my god, I'm tripping.
Maybe it's like, maybe they have other priorities, or maybe for them happiness is not one of their goals, lor. Maybe they want to, maybe they want to earn more money, maybe that's their goal, and they think, but actually that's what I was thinking. I thought that everybody wants to be happy, right? We think that having certain things will make us happy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I ask this
But
because I think like people are just generally very unhappy in Singapore. That's the sense, right? Do you feel the same way?
yeah,
Like, despite how
I
much we
think,
earn relative to our neighbors, our neighboring countries.
yeah, actually I also feel like these days I know a lot of my Malaysian friends, right? But sorry to say, I think Malaysian people, they are happier, and maybe they're also more grateful because of where they've been, right?
I still got
As
coke.
compared to Singapore.
I'm still choking on the coke.
Can you like
This episode is a flop.
like...
Okay, we'll cut this out and post.
I think I should light my face a bit more. I should light my face a bit more. My face a bit dark. Look like
I mean, this show is casual one, okay? No need to edit so much one.
Yeah.
So anything, I just gonna cancel only. Somehow, such a sensitive topic, we're talking about whether Singaporeans are happy. Later like Nas Daily, if I say that Singaporeans are, Singapore is very good, then gonna flame like Nas.
Nas broke up with his girlfriend, do you see?
Yeah. Well,
but that's his life.
Maybe I guess he's not. They weren't feeling happy. Anyway, I saw this Reddit. Okay, you know Reddit, right? Singapore subreddit. Okay, now they took it down for a few days because of some protests they're having at Reddit site, right? But I have archive.org to find the post, and it says anyone feels we are living in Singapore Inc. instead of Singapore, right? So the guy says, just an opinion I had for a while. I've been hearing a lot about how pace of life used to be slower and all. It really got me thinking. So before I start, let me just say I still agree that our government is one of the more competent ones among the world, but oftentimes I feel that there are some things they could do better. So with the building and closing of many things, and the more recent Singapore Turf Club, I feel like we are living more and more in a company than in a society. Yeah, then he goes on to say government chase metrics and paper quality, and he says he's young right? And he thinks that the prices of items are growing, GDP is very high, but what's not measured is our happiness and our way of life. Looking at the impending closure of the Turf Club, another one of our cultural heritage laws, blah blah blah. JCube, for example. So he's just saying that we are living in the company, right? And then for some reason, he says he's young, but then the closure of Turf Club seems to affect him quite a bit. Okay, JCube also affecting quite a bit. So many schools closed despite new schools being open. Every building lost is every part of our heritage and our connection to our country lost. Yeah. And then,
even buildings also affect him.
Yeah, I don't know why. He's very focused on buildings. So I mean,
放开一点啦，放开一点.
Yeah, actually this is not new, right? I mean, for the longest time, people keep saying that Singapore is like a company rather than a country.
I've never heard that before,
Never, really?
Never. I never heard that before.
But do you agree with the
Singapore
sentiment?
is a fine country, that's all.
But do you agree with the view that Singapore works more like a company than a country?
This is a very, very good question. I think in order for a country to be run well, it needs to have good economics. And having good economics means that it needs to make sense, right? Money in, money out. It's all money, right? So I think I think there is an aspect of it that really runs like a company. But then again, there are different kinds of company, right? There are some that's task-oriented Chinese companies. I mean, and then there are some that is like US companies. If you think about a country in terms of companies, right? And then there are what I want to say, I forgot already. Oh my god.
Different countries have, I mean, different companies have different culture, right? Like Chinese companies, they have the 996, right? 996 culture, where you work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 6 days. And then you have, I don't know, maybe European companies that are more chill.
Oh, super chill.
Right?
Super chill. Yeah.
So, but I think he's not, we are obviously not the super chill kind of company, right? Singapore is more 996, right? More 996 than the more chill kind. Yeah. So I think when he says a company is a kind of in a negative manner, like it's very cold, there's no sense of belonging. Everything is calculated in dollars and cents. I think that's his meaning.
Yeah. If you think about it, Google is a great company. Right.
Got free snacks and all kind of things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you think about it, there can be good companies and can be bad companies, right?
Yeah, but I think in this sense, if you talk about a country being a company, I think it's in a negative sense. Probably not a very nice company to be in.
But you are in a great company right now.
Okay, I think the way I see it is that, yeah, like you said, there's a certain emphasis on economics, right? But that's also like the foundation of having a good life. If you don't have the bare minimum to survive, then you wouldn't even talk about happiness, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sure you heard the Maslow hierarchy of needs, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think, and I think by saying this, I risk getting cancelled.
Can you stop saying we're getting cancelled? No, we won't get cancelled.
I'm very scared. I'm very scared of getting cancelled. Okay,
don't cancel me, please.
Later they go
if you cancel me, then okay.
Yeah, later they go to our affiliates and then say, hey, Seth say this.
What we have said, we do not represent any organization or even ourselves.
This is an AXS show. It's the Audrey Seth show. So it's the S show is like ATM machine, like auto teller machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I was saying that I think Singaporeans, we are too comfortable. We have achieved most of the things on the hierarchy of needs, right? We have food, we have roof over our heads. Of course, some still live with parents because housing very expensive. We have all the basic necessities. I mean, we even go overseas, right? Once or twice a year kind of thing. So we start to reach this place whereby, what are we? We need something more already, beyond like material stuff already. We start to want identity, sense of belonging, that kind of thing. But it's a position of privilege, right? Versus other countries that are not so fortunate, that are, don't have as a comfortable life as ours. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. Actually, when I went to Ecuador, and then my friends, right? My friend, they don't earn their minimum wage, or maybe their monthly salary is like 600 USD. That's their money. And they are like super happy, they're super contented, they're very family oriented, and there's a lot of like, then I started to wonder, they don't actually get to travel much out of the country because of their income but they are much more grateful and more happy really.
Maybe their housing not so expensive.
And they also live in rented housing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I always think that actually. Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's a perspective, I think.
Actually, I always think that Singapore, we are a modern city, right? We have a lot of people packed in the city, and most major cities in the world, where else do people expect to own their housing? Right? Like if you are someone in New York or London, do you expect to own, like, do citizens there expect to own their housing in those cities? No, right? Then why is it that Singaporeans when they cannot buy, when housing is very expensive, they feel so aggrieved by it?
Well, that's a good observation. Then you don't own a housing, then you sell a house, can
No, I mean, you want to buy a house, then you have to save lah. I save up damn hard for my
Oh,
my
yeah.
place. And then if you
Mm.
really cannot afford to buy, then I don't know, rent with a few friends. Or that's what Americans do, right? When they move out, they just go and rent somewhere. They don't really talk about home buying. They'll just get a few flatmates and then they just rent. Yeah.
That's a
So
good point. That's a good observation.
yeah. So I don't know why. Okay, I think it's just culture, lah, right? Asians, we are just obsessed with owning property. And then in part, I think it's the government's own fault, lah. I mean, in the past, they, PAP in the past will say things like home ownership very important, etc., etc. So they drew that into us, or we need to buy our own home, buy our own home. And then now I think they cannot provide enough homes for everyone at a certain rate, lah, right? And then people are unhappy because we all been brought up to want to own our own homes. And then now you're telling us, very expensive, need to wait, need to very small spaces can have sex, that kind of thing. So I think people are unhappy because of the mismatch lah. Like you overpromise, then you underdeliver.
Yeah. There's actually a video going around, I mean, in the US, how owning a house actually doesn't make sense in the US. Like buying your own property actually doesn't make sense. And this whole generation of people who like just move out, then they just like rent, or every month just rent. But the really smart ones actually, they buy houses and then they rent out to people. So at the end of the day, right, I think the owner still earns a lot more than the one who rents lah.
I think it depends on which country it is, which market it is. Singapore, I think it still makes sense to own because our prices keep going up. And yeah, I think in some places they do calculations whether it makes sense to own or rent. And in some places, renting makes more financial sense. Yeah, because I mean, I think because maybe the property market there doesn't appreciate that much and all. Yeah, so renting makes more sense. But in Singapore, I still think home ownership makes financial sense lah. Yeah, but of course it's very hard lah, very expensive.
Yeah.
But I think if government were to find someone to blame, is themselves lah, right? Oh no, now we are going into that territory. Yeah, but okay, my view why government's at fault lah. Even though I'm a PAP supporter, I mean I vote PAP for the past 2 elections. How many elections?
You don't need to say what. Hey, your vote is secret.
Yeah, vote is secret.
Okay?
Correct. Secret doesn't mean I cannot say why. It's just that nobody knows why I vote, right? But I can share I can share what I vote.
Okay.
Oh, how many elections have there been? That I've been in 2011. Oh, okay. I voted in 3 elections before. 3 general elections. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I'm a PAP supporter, and then I still feel that the government has themselves to blame lah. Like, first of all, okay, you keep drilling into us the notion of home ownership, right? Then they keep saying, oh, Singaporeans got 90% home ownership, which I think is damn bullshit lah. Because if you live with your parents, right, and your parents own the HDB, okay, you're considered a homeowner, because you live with your parents. That's how they get 90% home ownership. Yeah. So you keep drilling us that, we need to buy and own our own homes. Then second is they just keep, I don't know, they don't want to build ahead of demand. Like they still expect people to BTO, then wait a few years for it to be built. When there clearly is a demand, right? Okay, I heard theories that there was a time in the past where they had a lot of excess HDB, right? So they have have you heard of jumbo units, jumbo HDBs?
Yes, my friend lives in one.
Yeah, they cannot sell. That's why they combine 2 apartments into one, then they sell as jumbo.
Oh.
Yeah, or something like that lah. So I think they are afraid of repeating the same thing, and therefore they do build to order. But now it's a very different situation, right? They scared that they build too much, man. In Singapore now, right? Where got like you scared of having unsold apartments? Really? That's very weird lah. I think you should have built ahead of demand years ago lah, rather than now I don't even think that they are doing it. I've heard rumors that they are doing it lah, but I don't know whether it's true.
Yeah, if you think about it, like COVID, nobody expected, right? Then COVID was the one that really like hit us. Yeah, the delays were insane. Yeah, but then I do know of people who are like looking into the housing situation in Singapore, who work in the government, right? And like I think they think of using automation and technology lah, to try to build houses faster. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Oh my. But yeah, I mean, like if you think about it, like these days there are those kind of like container houses, right? Those tiny houses that you can literally buy from Taobao. There was this guy on who on TikTok, he literally bought a house on Taobao or something like that. He shipped it to Australia, he built his whole house and show everybody. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, right? I mean, if you could have a house just out of the box.
Yeah, but I feel that, okay, actually now they do this prefab building.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah. So actually, if they want to build, they can build quite quickly one. At least within one election cycle, you can so-called, I think you can definitely ease the housing demand a lot by building ahead of demand. But they've just been, I don't know lah, from my point of view, it's like they've been sitting on their hands and then not doing anything long. So it's like halfway through the parliament term already, right? There's another 2 more years before they have to get, we have another GE, right? And yeah, I don't think they have done anything much. In fact, can you imagine they lost 2 GRCs the last time, right? if the situation continues to be like that for 2 years later, I think they're going to lose another GRC. They can say bye bye to East Coast already.
Siao, man. What was that? What was that guy? Is it the Kichu guy? The East Coast one?
Kichu? No, East Coast is Heng Swee Keat.
There's some, I cannot remember. The last GE.
Heng Swee Keat is the East Coast plan. The guy with the East Coast plan.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was supposed to be our next PM lah, but then he
cannot lah. So then another guy already lah. So
actually, my theory is that Lee Hsien Loong don't want to step down one. Okay, but I think that's another issue.
It's not cut off.
Cut off. Why you scared of Lee Hsien Loong, right? This one I think you can talk about when GE comes closer. I think talking about elections, we have something that's closer.
Yeah, I think so. George Goh.
Yeah, George Goh versus Tharman Shanmugaratnam. So
yeah.
I think very interesting contest to watch. In fact, I feel like, okay, my theory so far is that they already know that George Goh was going to run, right? And therefore they put out Tharman because he's the best bet that PAP has, right? That he will win anyone that will run. And at the same time, I don't think they want to walk over, right? So I think they already know that this George Goh sure will run one. That's why they go and ask Tharman to announce quickly. I think he announced quite fast.
I thought it was planned already. They usually have quite a long succession plan one. So they would have planned that Tharman was going to be there.
Actually, I think the PAP, the current PAP now doesn't have the luxury to plan ahead because voter sentiment is turning against them. Yeah. So now they have to be very reactive. I think my theory is that last PE, right? Halimah Yacob, they had to disqualify the other candidates because they were not that confident that she'll win. Yeah. And then this time round, they had to put Tharman out because it's like, I think it's 1 stone 2 birds. I think Tharman, he's of the age where he's going to retire from active service, like being an MP and minister. So president is a very good retirement job. And he sure win, right? And therefore he decided to put himself out.
Do you see yesterday's CNA video, right, on YouTube, right? It says, not PAP's fault that Tharman is a strong candidate, says Shanmugam.
Yeah, well.
Say, he's so tired, not my fault, not my problem.
Yeah, it's true. It is it's no one's fault that he is the clear winner even without a contest. You think about it, who would Tharman have to go against that he will lose in a presidential election like that?
Yeah, who would Tharman lose to?
Lee Kuan Yew. Literally, the only person.
Wow,
right? If you want to count, but if you want to count people who are alive and would reasonably run,
difficult, man.
Even if George Yeo himself runs against Tharman, he also lose.
You think can? You think lose?
Lose. Yeah, Tharman will still win. Wow. I cannot think of anyone that Tharman will go up against and lose. He's incredibly popular. Even opposition supporters like Tharman. That's how popular he is. Yeah. So
how do you know he's so popular? How do you know?
You look at his GE results.
Oh yeah, okay,
75%. Then okay, 2015 was around 75%, and 2015. No, sorry, not 2015. 2020. 2020 was when PAP did quite badly, 60% only, and he did 75, right? And then so everybody getting B4, he get A1. That's how good he is,
A-star student.
Yeah, and even opposition people likes him. Like every time they talk about him, they have to do it in a favorable light. Always they're So sure win one, Tharman sure win. Now I do you watch George Goh's press conference? Okay, not
Yeah,
press conference. He spoke to
I
the
saw
press.
a little bit. I saw a little bit
Him
today.
speaking English.
Huh?
You saw him speaking English, or what language was he using?
English.
You
saw him speaking another?
When I saw his English interview, I was like, wow, this guy jialat lah.
Why?
But he speaks quite badly in English, what? No way?
Oh, is it?
Okay, my impression was
I didn't see the full thing.
Yeah, my impression was when he announced everything. Okay, in fact, he was speculated to run months ago lah. He had his website and all, so he looked quite presidential in photos lah. Really, got the 气质, got the posture and all. Wow, then he spoke to the reporters in English. I was just like, ayo, he sound like coffee shop uncle. I mean, sorry to say, but from his demeanor to his articulation and all, just a little bit too. Yeah, I saw some tweets say that he's Chinese helicopter lah.
In 2011, it's very clear. The people give the non-establishment candidate 65%.
But then when he answered the reporter in Mandarin, actually okay leh, when he spoke in Mandarin. Then he also can speak in Bahasa Melayu. And he sounds quite okay, even though I don't understand lah. But yeah, I think it's a lot more eloquent than his English lah. So
Anyway,
I think so I think okay, a little fun thing to do would be to predict the vote share of our dear Minister Tharman.
Okay.
Right. So some people, so he did 75% in his own constituency lah. Right. 75%. My prediction, I think at first I thought it was going to be 32%. So 68% Tharman, 32% to George Goh. But now I think a bit deeper. I think maybe I will reduce it to maybe 65-35.
Wow.
Yeah. My rationale is, you give me your score first, then I tell you my rationale. Then you can share.
My rationale is
no, the vote share first.
Okay, so my vote share is 61-39. Because I think he's not going to win by a huge margin, but I think he's going to win. Yeah. Anybody taking bets? No.
Yeah. So okay, my rationale why I initially thought 68-32 is okay. I think Tharman is incredibly popular. But the ground is not very good for PAP now. I think that the sentiment against PAP is very bad. My sensing is really terrible. Like they already lost two GRCs, right? And I don't think they improved from 2 years ago, 2-3 years. I mean, when I say improve, I mean their PR, right? I don't think they have become more appealing to voters lah. In fact, I think they become worse. Yeah, so I think that will take a knock on Tharman's popularity. So he can score 70 plus, almost 80. Take it down to under 70, 68, B3 already. B3 already. And then George Goh said something that I thought makes sense also. Like in 2011, a lot of people voted for the non-PAP candidate, right? So Tony Tan only got 35%, and then 65% voted for people like Tan Ji Se, and Tan Kee Lian didn't get many. Okay, maybe it's Tan Ching Bok lah, right? Because Tan Ching Bok still seems a bit ex-PAP. So so I think that people do want someone not from the PAP. So there might be a significant number who will vote for George Goh lah. And especially George Goh, okay, he's not a joker, right? He has multiple companies. He has done a lot of charity work. He's an ambassador. He's one of our ambassadors. Yeah, so I think there will be hardcore 25% anti-PAP people who will vote for him. And then swing voters will be there are a significant population of swing voters who will want an independent person. Yeah, so that's my 35% score. 25% hardcore anti-PAP people, 10% from the swing voters.
Wow, you have thought this through,
Yeah.
My number I literally plucked down from the durian tree one.
I'm guessing lah, but politics in Singapore actually, politics in Singapore can be quite predictable, but sometimes it's also just like Sengkang GRC could just happen.
Yeah.
Even West Coast GRC, they nearly lost, PAP got like what, 52% there only. Yeah.
So we will see lah. We will see what happens. Then we should get people to vote. Tell us what they think.
Yeah, so let us know what do you think of the presidential vote share. The presidential election vote share will be in the comments below. Okay, so you can catch Audrey at her TikTok. What's that? ijusttrylah, right? On TikTok, massive number of views, lots of views. And
you can find Seth at Sethisfy on YouTube and TikTok, right?
No lah, TikTok is for fun one. Mine is on YouTube, Telegram, and website.
Wow, see?
Yeah.
High achiever.
No lah, everything must do.
I sell durian.
Sell durian. 包价.
Hey, can earn a lot of money from making durian one.
Well, of course lah. Most businesses, if you do very well, you can earn a lot of money.
That's true lah.
Durian 包价 or not? Is it like Tharman like that? 包价 one.